Hi guys, it's Sunday 26th of February. We're now 34 days out from pure release, and I decided to vlog tonight on a very different subject. It's become apparent, and I've become increasingly aware, that my vlogs and social media status updates imply that I am a person with very narrow interests, and that I'm obsessed with nothing more than prepping for competition and retraining. What's also become apparent is that people have no idea who I really am. They see a one-dimensional character. Partly my fault, but I wanted to correct that misconception and that untruth, and outline a bit more about who and what I am and what I stand for and what I believe in. Because I'm incredibly upset, if I'm honest. I'm upset and I'm offended that people think I am a vain, arrogant narcissist that's obsessed with a body beautiful and with prepping for stage only. And I'm not, but I'll come on to that in a minute. Who am I? I'm a really complex guy with a huge number of interests. But you'd never, unless you were a genuine friend and you know who you actually know me, you probably wouldn't know that. But I am incredibly political. I'm a political activist. I've got several friends who are MPs and political activists. I passionately believe in democracy and free speech, and uncensored free speech in particular. I am incredibly passionate about those fields, and I've volunteered for the last 10 years for a political party in the UK. But politics are important and they're private, I think. I am a passionate believer, however, in the equality and gay rights movement. I once stood for election as a director of the board of Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras. I volunteered for that organisation whilst I was over there for 4 years in a row, fundraising and various other forms, in various events. I've been on protests and marches and written speeches and spoken and campaigned tirelessly for marriage equality both here and in Australia. And I will continue to do so. I remember going on marches when I was a student at university, when the age of consent was 21, and an 18-year-old being told that I couldn't have a relationship with somebody I loved was incredibly offensive to me, and so I marched, and I'm very proud that I did. I hate bigotry in all of its forms, including sexism and racism and religious intolerance. I believe passionately in experiencing new cultures and food and new places, and I've travelled the world extensively doing all three, and I will continue to do so. I volunteered for the Department of International Development a few years ago, working in Cameroon and in Nigeria on community water supply projects. Passionately believe in overseas development and the need for wealthy countries like ours to do its bit in helping those that can't help themselves. I love Australian rules football passionately. My two teams are the Sydney Swans, the professional third grade team, and Sydney University's Australian National Football Club, for which I volunteered and was their team manager for 2 seasons in a row, almost 3 seasons. I love opera and classical music and ballet, as well as cinema. I'm fluent in French. I love language. I love literature. I love all sorts of creative arts. You probably wouldn't know that by looking at me, but I believe in fashion, albeit that I wear the same clothes, but I do love fashion. And I love artistic expression. I love people's right to express their views in whatever form that they want to. I am deeply offended when people think that I'm just some narcissistic fool. and I'm not. The whole purpose of the journey that I embarked on 4 years ago and a year ago in terms of prepping for comp was not about creating a body beautiful. It was about overturning years of hedonistic abuse that I exposed myself to, and showing that actually health and fitness were conscious decisions. You choose your path, you choose your destiny, and by making different choices you can reverse that harm. And all I wanted to do was show the medical guys at the time who said I would be unlikely to make it through my 40s, because I had GTN sprays and I've had 2 suspected heart attacks at that point, one here and one in Australia, that not only would I become fit, I'd become exceptionally fit. And not only would I become well, I'd become incredibly well. And not only would I lose the fat, but I'd become muscular, lean and defined. For me, there's effort, and then there is my effort. And my effort is 100% in everything, all the time. No let up, no excuses, ever. And that if you want something, providing you work hard enough for it, not only will you achieve it, but you'll exceed expectations too. And that's what makes me tick. It's a stubborn determination to keep improving and keep discovering new things about myself. I've learned so much about this journey. I've got renewed confidence and self-belief and an ability now to overcome any obstacles that people throw in my path. The one other area of my life that I'm very passionate about is bullying and intimidation and nastiness, and albeit that I'm subject to abuse myself, I'd rather it was me than somebody else. I'm a pretty robust guy when it comes to stuff like that. I mean, growing up being a puff in the 90s in the UK wasn't the most pleasant experience in the world. You develop pretty thick skin. Working in a very male, masculine dominated world of construction and property development, you develop very thick skin. Abuse and insult are something that are second nature. So when somebody is sending abuse, it's not having the desired impact. I mean, it cuts and it hurts when you're feeling low. It would to anybody unless you weren't human. But I now use it as fuel to improve my performance. But I passionately dislike bullying. I despise it in all of its forms. It's unnecessary. It doesn't serve any purpose, but very often the people doing it are inadequate and insecure themselves. I have very exacting standards and very high expectations of everything and everyone around me. And when people don't exceed on those expectations, I let them know. And that has meant that I've had a couple of coaches prior to Tim, who I've known for years as a friend before he was my coach. The long and the short of it is, if you don't deliver, I won't tolerate it. End of discussion. That might sound harsh, but I'm a realist at the end of the day. You know, you have people support you because it's a skill that you don't have yourself. And you have to have trust and faith in the advice you're being told. And I have no regrets about the decisions I've made. Life's too short for regrets. I think you just have to grab every opportunity and make the best of it. And if that opportunity doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, and you move on to the next one. You pick yourself up and you carry on. There are lots of people who I need to say sorry to, and I do. I'm not arrogant enough to sit back and say that I never do anything wrong. I'm inherently and acutely aware of all of my flaws and weaknesses. But I'm not going to sit here and talk you through them. The same as I'm acutely aware of my strengths and positive personality traits. And I hope that they come through in everyone's everyday dealings with me. And if they don't, well, I can only apologise for giving you a misleading impression of me. But ultimately, I live my life following a path of honesty and integrity. And what you see is what you get. I'm a decent, pretty nice guy, lots of beliefs and lots of interests. And once you get to know me, I'm okay, I'm pretty decent. I'm a very people-orientated person. But one thing I can't stand is spending too much time in my own company. It's probably one of the reasons why I'm blogging tonight, because I've been thinking too much, which is always dangerous when I think I either plot things or start thinking about all the things I should have done. But anyway, on that note, I just wanted to explain to you that there are many, many sides to me. Don't please judge a book by its cover. If you want to know about me, get to know me. Become a mate. I'm a pretty good guy. I have friends with people from all walks of life and all political backgrounds, religions, cultures, sexual orientations. If I like you, I like you. I don't make judgments based on who somebody is. I make on what they are. I make judgments on who they are and how they treat me. So I start from a position of trust and respect. But once those two are lost, they're lost forever. But anyway, that's who I am. I hope that was of some use and of some interest. If not, I apologise. If it was, great. The normal service will be resumed tomorrow. And on that note, it must be dinner time. Good night, everyone.